Speaking of Nigeria being hot, we all know these dudes. When it comes to the music fraternity in Nigeria, we all know these guys in the person of the P squares. I mean, 2 to the power to the 8 to the 5 to the whatever, the equal to the square things. Yes, these two guys literally have been such sentient dudes in the music industry in Nigeria, really, because they debuted back in 2003. And way back in that time, that was when, me, myself, and my millennial people fell in love with their tunes and even got some ladies that we got married to with their songs, because we can recall some of the songs like do me, hey, now the way you they do me, hey, girl, I like the way they do me, Charlie, I think that Gen Zs can't relate to this narrative because they are kids of just yesterday. But when we were where were you? And that was what P Square gave us back in those days, because Charlie, they were everywhere literally. They even activated the Nigerian music industry in the first place. So what we're hearing about this too, like literally on social media now, it's not really making sense, because clearly at a point in time they were estranged. They are no more together. Like, we got to know that the vibes that they came together with the P Square thing, they are no more like that, because, well, according to one of the P Squares in the person of Mr. P, who is the one with the trimmed hair or the cast hair, he's stating and making some allegations about his other brother in the music duo, that is Rudebwoy, stating that Rudebwoy always wants to have the accolades to himself. When they record songs, he goes on platforms and saying that, well, Mr. P is not making any contributions to, the dues and all of that. Like, literally, he's tarnishing and, sabotaging him. And he took to social media to detail exactly what is built between the two of them. So if we can get some of the tweets on X, let's get interactive on this too. All right, so that is the two on our screens now. An open letter that it really. So the first one states that, well, my dear brother Paul, just like I have told you several times, I'm not in any competition with you or anybody else. However, seeing you grant countless interviews where you constantly discredit my efforts in the group that we both created and built together really speaks volumes. In your recent interviews, you claimed that you wrote and sang 99% of all the P Square songs and discredited me by saying that our song with T.I., that is Ajialo or Ajejo, which I wrote, was a failure. You went as far as using the YouTube views to discredit me once again. And it goes on and on and on. So if you can get the next tweet, the next statement too. That is quite session. So the number 2 of the statement states that, okay, if we can get the two, I need a 2 literally. Yeah, all right, so this is the 4th one, and also stated that I often find myself wondering what to do truly again by constantly disrespecting and belittling me all the time. You have disrespected my wife, disrespected my family, disrespected my talent, disrespected my ideas, and even sided with Jude when he was clearly trying to oppress me. And if you care to know, that Jude happens to be their senior brother, their elder brother. But the conversation's making waves now. Well, Mr. P is not happy with the narrative, because their elder brother in the person of Jude only sides to Rudebwoy. So anything Mr. P does, he doesn't condone. And for me, I feel like this is quite, racial or, discouraging in a way. It's belittling, it's derogatory, because why will you be having a good time or be loving one person as far as you guys are a family thing? You just love the other and leave the other. It doesn't make sense. So I feel like all these things has gathered together and has created some hole in the heart of Mr. P, because you can't just love one and leave me. And also Rudebwoy coming out stating and making things look like Mr. P doesn't add any contribution while they were singing together and all of that. It's not making sense, because at a point after they had the fallout, they came back together announcing to the public that they are together again. And we were excited to see these two together, where they even went to the States, to the diaspora to organize some concerts coming up and all of that, only for us to get to hear again that you guys are estranged. It's too much. And that brings back the question and the narrative that, being a music duo really takes a lot, because if you don't understand each other, if you don't get each other's back, if you succumb to social status and social, sayings, it will go against you. And that is how I accolade our very own, Keche and RTBs and the likes, because we knew them to way back, but still they crush them, they give the vibes back to back. And I was a part of, P Square. Before they became P Square, I was the one that engineered their career life. They consulted me to start the business with them, and I declined some way because the money no plenty. So I'll be sound engineer, I'll be music producer. If you don't see me small for your face, But what is trending on social now about this too is really devastating. I don't like the narrative. It's quite disparaging, because two brothers coming this way to be like this, it's not a good thing. So upon that, what do you also have to say about these two narratives? Let us know your sentiments by dropping on our social platforms. Let's have a good vibe. But at the moment, this is what is trending with P Square.